I'll tell you what, Mr. Moneybags. I'm going to make this more interesting for you. How about we double it? $2 million. $2 million since I beat your boy Dylan Dennis. I know you're going to see this. I know you're going to see this clip.
God damn.
You're coaching him. You're guiding him. He's definitely going to show up, right? Yeah, fuck you. Both of you are all bark, no bite. $2 million that says I beat your boy. I will send you the contract tomorrow.
Wow.
But no, he's not going to respond. All bark, no bite.
And like, there's something about like calling somebody out, which you immediately respect them a little bit more, like willing to put yourself out there for a fight.
You get a new name for yourself. Look at what has happened to Michael Perry. You know, one of our big stars here, the King of Violence. He titles himself, and you know he's had such a rise in the sport. Now he's up against you know, a little dweeb of a thing in a fight this weekend.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when Logan Paul turned down a fight with Conor McGregor, one of the most talked about fighters in the world. Logan, an influencer known for flaunting his warrior mentality, had the chance to step into the ring with a legend. Instead, he politely declined. Naturally, Joe called him out for it. Despite all of Logan's boasting about being tough, when it came to facing a true fighter, he folded like a cheap deck chair.
Connor, I think it'd be really cool.
Do you think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185, and he's.
But size-wise, Conor was most effective at 145.
Yeah, but we'll always come back to, like, he's a professional fighter. I'm a YouTuber, you know, and so that's supposed to be the give and take of it. Like, why would I, a YouTuber who's 0-1, have any business beating the great Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor is due to fight Logan Paul, not to be confused with Jake Paul, in India for $250 million each. $250 million is more than Tyson and Usyk combined. Not even close. For just Conor will make more than Usyk and Fury made combined.
Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. That fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, you know, things, but I don't say that anymore. Because you never know.
This wasn't just another match. It was Conor McGregor, the trash-talking, headline-grabbing Irishman. The fight could have shattered pay-per-view records, earned Logan real credibility, and proved if he could actually fight. But instead, Logan chose to duck the fight, solidifying his legacy as someone who avoids challenges, but never the drama.
Concern too is if Conor doesn't take this serious, and like kind of moseys in, he's partying, you know, I think you get fucked up. That's what's interesting to me. Now, if it's prime Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point, you gotta get it to Paul brothers. One fought Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. I don't know how you feel about it. The right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls. You know how Dana holds grudges. We know how he holds grudges. For him to be in cahoots with the Paul brothers in any fashion.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back in mocking Logan Paul's absurd decision, laughing at how the YouTube star turned WWE sensation managed to create an even more ridiculous storyline than his matches. Sarcastically, he quipped that only Logan could turn down the fight of a lifetime against one of the greatest UFC stars ever, in a legendary venue like Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. Rogan jokingly suggested Logan was probably too busy perfecting his teddy bear wrestling skills in WWE to accept such an epic challenge.
Logan's very busy. I would assume that he probably didn't come up with this on his own. I would assume that someone probably came to him with this project. This is just total assumption, guessing on my part.
So we have text messages from behind the scenes. A lot of people, the people who were responsible for it, say Logan kind of spearheaded the idea. And he says he spearheaded the idea.
So it was his idea.
Logan Paul's reputation as a fighter has always been questionable, to say the least. His biggest achievements in the ring include a split decision loss to KSI and a disqualification win over Dylan Dennis. Hardly a standout resume. Joe Rogan didn't hesitate to break down the Dennis fight, calling it more of a circus act than a legitimate boxing match. According to Rogan, Dennis threw fewer punches in 6 rounds than most people do at a punching bag during warm-ups. Logan's so-called big win came only because Dennis attempted to choke him mid-fight. Rogan sarcastically remarked, "That's not a victory, that's an escape from embarrassment."
Paul are featured as part of the historic Visit India tourism campaign, so it's government funded, yeah? It's a clash in Mumbai, iconic stadium. The two will be rewarded for their efforts, with McGregor set to walk away with $250 million. That's more than to fight Floyd.
Let's refocus on Conor McGregor. Love him or hate him, McGregor brings unmatched star power and credibility. Sure, he hasn't fought since 2021, and his record isn't perfect, but even a half-injured McGregor is miles ahead of Logan Paul. Joe Rogan put it bluntly, Conor would dismantle Logan with one leg, and heck, he could do it blindfolded. Either way, it would be over in less than 3 rounds.
Be funded by the Ambani family dynasty, the richest in India. See how much they're worth? So 500 million has to be pennies for them. So India's Ambani family tops Forbes list of Asia's richest families. You know how rich you got to be Asia's richest family? Singapore, India's Ambani family tops 2017 Forbes list.
The proposed $250 million payday for each fighter was another juicy detail Joe Rogan couldn't resist mocking. $250 million? That's not just life-changing money. That's buy your own island and never see a Paul brother again money. Rogan joked, highlighting how Logan walked away from it. Either Logan has more money than brains, or he knows exactly how disastrous that fight would be for him. Logan Paul, the self-proclaimed internet sensation turned wanted fighter, is truly living up to this family legacy. He's Jake Paul's older brother, and if there's one thing they both share besides their last name, it's their talent for cherry-picking opponents. Jake, the king of hand-picking fights, famously avoided legitimate boxers until he couldn't anymore. Logan isn't much different. In fact, the apple didn't just fall near the tree. It practically rolled into Jake's backyard.
Yeah. Who the hell are you gonna fight, bro?
Who do you want me to fight, Mike?
Maybe Conor or something.
Remember Jake's legendary challenge to Mike Tyson? That wasn't just a random pick. Tyson, in his 50s, is far from his prime. Sure, he's still a boxing icon, but let's face it, he's not the same Iron Mike who ruled the heavyweight division decades ago. Inspired by Jake's audacity, Logan seems to be following a similar path. Big names, low risks. It's a strategy that says more about protecting a brand than showcasing real skill. Logan's fight history follows the same formula. A match against Floyd Mayweather, a 50-0 boxing legend. Sounds impressive until you realize it was an exhibition with no stakes. Floyd didn't even train like it was a real fight, and still, Logan barely landed a punch. Meanwhile, Jake kept busy by facing aging MMA fighters and basketball players, dodging legitimate boxers at every turn. The brothers might as well trademark the term strategic opponent selection.
That would jab
man. G and Jake Gyllenhaal.
That might work. I don't know what was going on there.
Oh, you know what was going on, brother.
You know what was going on.
When Conor McGregor's name came up, it was Logan's chance to do something different. Fight someone with real credibility and skill. But what did he do? Just like Jake would have, he backed off faster than he dodges tough questions in interviews. After all, why face someone like McGregor when he can stick to safe, profitable bouts against opponents who either can't box or are well past their prime? Joe Rogan also explored the psychology behind Logan's decision, suggesting it wasn't about money or fame. Logan thrives in controlled environments like WWE, where he can script his moves. In Misfits boxing, he carefully selects opponents who barely pose a threat. But McGregor? That's a whole different ballgame. Stepping into the ring with Conor means facing a fighter who could destroy your brand in under 10 minutes. And that's really the crux of it. Logan Paul isn't a fighter, he's a showman. His entire career is built around creating spectacles, not proving himself in the ring. Joe Rogan summed it up perfectly. Logan doesn't want to be a fighter. He wants to look like one. There's a difference. Fighters take risks, even when the odds are stacked against them. Showmen pick their spots and hope no one notices the strings. The Mumbai angle added another layer of absurdity. The fight was supposed to be part of India's tourism campaign, and Rogan couldn't resist poking fun at it. Imagine flying halfway across the world to watch Logan Paul get knocked out in front of 30,000 screaming fans. That's not a tourism campaign. That's a live-action meme, he joked. But Rogan didn't stop there. He went after the broader trend of influencer boxing, calling it a sideshow masquerading as a sport. Logan Paul, according to Joe, is the poster child for this phenomenon. We've gone from gladiators fighting for honor to influencers playing dress up in the ring. It's like turning the Olympics into a TikTok dance-off. Rogan said, his frustration clear.
Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point, you gotta get it to Paul brothers. One fought Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. I don't know how you feel about it.
Logan's entire persona is built on marketing and theatrics. Joe Rogan pointed out that Logan's rejection of the McGregor fight isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a glaring admission that he's not ready for the big leagues. Logan talks a big game, but when it's time to step up, he disappears. Rogan compared him to a wrestler who runs out of the ring the moment the bell rings. Yet somehow, Logan Paul keeps winning, not in the ring, but in the court of public opinion. Rogan acknowledged that Logan's decision to duck McGregor might actually work in his favor. This guy knows how to spin anything into a narrative, Rogan said. He'll probably claim McGregor's not worth his time or some nonsense, and his fans will eat it up like it's gospel.
See the Logan Paul, Conor McGregor shit? Who wins in that fight? I think Logan Paul.
I mean, we haven't seen Conor fight in a while.
I feel like Logan Paul, at his size, when he fought Floyd too, that was years ago. He's like been training. He's in an insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing these types of...
Joe wrapped up his rant with a question that cuts to the heart of the issue. At what point do we stop pretending Logan Paul is a real fighter? He's a marketer, a showman, a walking billboard, but a fighter. Not even close. Logan's connection to Jake makes it crystal clear. This isn't about fighting, it's about spectacle. The Paul brothers have turned the fight game into a circus act, where the goal isn't earning respect, but racking up paychecks and headlines. So, what can we expect from Logan? More of the same. Whether it's exhibitions or cherry-picked matchups, he's sticking to the family script. Don't expect real fights, just real marketing. Logan Paul rejecting a fight with Conor McGregor isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a clear message. Logan doesn't want to prove himself in the ring. He wants to stay in his carefully curated bubble. While that strategy may keep his brand intact, it also exposes the reality that Logan is more interested in controlling his narrative than stepping up to real challenges. As Joe Rogan put it, if Logan ever decides to stop playing it safe and actually fight, let me know. Until then, I'll stick to watching real fighters. So, what do you think? Is Logan Paul too scared to face a real fighter, or is he just too busy starring in his own circus? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's see if anyone can come up with an excuse more ridiculous than Logan's.